Okay, look, I am definitely one of those people that want to bubble wrap DeAndre Hopkins, Lamar Miller, Jadeveon Clowney, Nick Martin, and stash them in for next season. But that's not going to be the case. They're still going to play, but there is some players that I do feel like should be getting more playing time. Not necessarily over those players that I mentioned, but over other players, and we're going to discuss that. We're going to start off with the offensive line. I think it's pretty obvious that Julian Davenport needs to start at the left tackle position, and I think that would have already been the case once Chris Clark went down, but of course Davenport's dealing with a shoulder injury himself, but I do believe once he comes back, I do think he's going to get probably all the reps, really. I don't see Kendall Lamb getting any reps at the left tackle position, and I don't think they put Jeff Allen back there at left tackle, even though he was doing a decent job before those three back-to-back false starts, which were pretty pathetic. And I really do think Davenport will get some playing time, and I think it's well deserved and well needed, because we got to see what we got with these young players. And we currently don't have a left tackle that deserves to be starting, of course, because Chris Clark got hurt, and Kendall Lamb is not good. And another guy on the offensive line we should also be giving more playing time is left guard Dorian Johnson. Now, Dorian Johnson is currently on the practice squad. I don't think he should be. The guy was ranked as a top 2 offensive guard this past draft. The only reason he dropped was because of a health issue, a liver problem. I forgot exactly what it was, but it's not really that big of a deal. But teams got scared. He dropped to the 4th round. I believe the Cardinals took him. The Cardinals threw him on the practice squad. The Texans then signed him to their team. The Texans then waived him and put him on the practice squad. So Dorian Johnson is a left guard, and I think he should be starting over Xavier Su'a-Filo, because Xavier Su'a-Filo is not a good player. Now, we don't really know what we're going to get out of Dorian Johnson, but what we do know is that odds are Xavier Su'a-Filo is not going to be here next season, so we got to start looking towards the future, and Dorian Johnson could possibly be playing or be our left guard of the future, because Dorian Johnson does have the talent to be a 10-year starter in this league. And as you guys know, we need all the help we can get on the offensive line, even though as a unit they've played pretty well all season besides the week 1 disaster against Jacksonville. But as a unit they've played well, but individually you can definitely improve each and every single one of them, except maybe Nick Martin, who has been the only consistent one all season long. So Julian Davenport and Dorian Johnson should really both get some reps on the left side of the offensive line, so they can build some chemistry for next season, because we really don't know if we're going to be able to get other offensive linemen, because free agency is not looking good with offensive linemen, and the draft, we don't have a 1st round pick or a 2nd round pick, so we might not be able to get a starting caliber offensive lineman in the draft. Maybe we will, but there's also a possibility that we don't, so we gotta start preparing for that. And another guy I want to see out there more is Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams, man, he's our 4th corner on the depth chart behind J. Joe, Kevin Johnson, and Kareem Jackson, in that order. And I do think Jonathan Joseph is benchable. Jonathan Joseph is 33, so, and he's on the final year of his contract. He has been inconsistent all season. One game he plays like the old Jonathan Joseph, the next game he can't cover anyone. So Marcus Williams, in his limited time that he's played, he's done a pretty damn good job, and I don't just mean that to over exaggerate. I really mean it. I think the guy has played well in the limited reps he's gotten during the games, and I think he deserves some playing time. And another guy in that secondary I also think deserves more playing time is Tristan Dekud. And a lot of people are high on this guy, and it's understandably so. He's 6'3", over 200 pounds. Not the fastest 40 time in the world, but he plays fast. I mean, the guy has a skill set to be a good player in the league. And on the one play that I do recall him going in, or the one play I do recall him getting targeted when he was in, he had a beautiful pass breakup. So, from the one play, he's actually looked good. So, I mean, why not throw out Dekud and Williams out there? In my opinion, you should throw out Kevin Johnson, Marcus Williams, and Tristan Dekud. Kareem Jackson, I know he's not a young player, but I want them to move him up to safety. Like at the start of next game, play him at safety. See if Kareem Jackson really would be a good fit at safety, because a lot of people have been saying it, including myself, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys have been saying it too. Kareem Jackson is meant to play safety, so it's time to find out if that's really true. Put him at safety and see if we need 2 safeties next season or maybe only 1, because I do think both of our safeties suck. So maybe Kareem Jackson fixes one of those safety spots, maybe he doesn't. We need to find out. We can't go into next season with only 1 safety. Like, what if we wait to next season to put Kareem Jackson in at safety and we only sign 1 safety in free agency, and Kareem Jackson ends up being a total liability at one of the safety spots? We cannot have that happen. So there's 4 games left. Test him out there, see how well he does. I mean, we play the Niners, the Jaguars, the Steelers, and the Colts. I don't really think anyone except the Steelers are really going to test them that well, but it's still worth a shot. Maybe T.Y. Hilton and Jacoby Brissett could test the secondary and see how well it would be, but I think it's worth a shot. Again, we got absolutely nothing to lose. And another guy, this isn't someone I would want to see out there more, rather than someone I do not want to see out there at all. And that is Brian Cushing. I mean, Brian Cushing did some good stuff for us in the past, but you guys know the 10-game suspension. I think the guy shouldn't be activated at all the remainder of the season unless, an unforeseeable injury, which I hope doesn't happen, because we've already dealt with enough of those already. And I just don't think Cushing is as good as McKinney, Cunningham, or Dylan Cole. I think Cushing's our 4th best inside linebacker, and I don't think he should be out there. I think Dylan Cole, Cunningham, and Bernardrick McKinney should be getting most of the reps at the inside linebacker position so they can get ready for next season. And another guy I think should be getting more reps, not really necessarily over anyone in particular, but just more reps in general, and that's Braxton Miller. You guys know how I feel about Braxton Miller. I hate the guy, but I always give credit when credit is due, and Braxton Miller, 5 receptions for like 40-something yards against the Ravens' number 1 ranked pass defense. I think, that was a good game by Braxton Miller's standards. But then he comes back and has like 2 receptions for like 60 yards against the Titans, and then he got hurt. So I do think he could have had way more yards than that and way more catches. So maybe it's time to give Braxton Miller an opportunity, because at the start, Braxton Miller could not get open. He would struggle to get open. He struggled doing so in preseason. He struggled doing so his rookie year. And those first few games when Will Fuller was out. So now maybe it's time to throw out Braxton Miller. Maybe Braxton Miller has finally figured it out, because the guy has looked better, and I will admit, maybe there's a chance he can be good for us, because I was giving the guy no chance to be good for us. But hey, man, I'm proven wrong by these players all the time. I used to hate Will Fuller. Will Fuller proved me wrong. So, Braxton Miller proved me wrong. Anyways, with that being said, guys, comment down below if there's anyone else in particular you would want to see more out of, or get some more playing time. And yeah, with that being said, make sure to like and subscribe. Make sure to click that little notification bell so you can see whenever I upload a new video, or I go live, because I do live stream occasionally, not really scheduled live streams, just kind of random. So definitely click that notification bell, and also follow me on Twitter at LSticky'sLair, because I just tweet some random stuff, mostly involving the NFL, but you know, whatever. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.